the T don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea.
Y'all, I'm really up here dancing like I'm in the club. Like, hey, and I got her information. I'm going to link it in my videos moving forward. I kind of got to put it together because the lady that created that song, and I don't know if I mentioned it before, to I'm sorry, I done clicked something on here. I did not tell her to click that song. So that is just I wanted to say that because it just goes to show how talented she is. She actually was on my channel and she had been watching my videos. So she came up with that on her own. So just imagine how awesome she would be, I guess, if y'all wanted something tailored. But I thought she did a great job. I'm just not good with certain things. So her coming up with that song was great because I was thinking of, dang, I need to switch up some stuff. So I'm gonna, get her. I mean, I have her information, but I'm gonna put it together on like a spreadsheet or something. So when I do videos, I can show y'all, give y'all her information in a way that you can maybe, take a picture of it, because if you need her, you can reach out. And she has some really good prices and stuff. Very, very, something that you can afford. So it's not like, 1,000, 2,000. I don't even think it was 100, last time I checked. But y'all, we got to get into this situation because we know that Porsha Williams will, your husband, your man, your baby daddy, your boyfriend, is she trying to push up on Charles?
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Listen, word on the street, y'all, these old streets is saying that it's hard out here for Porsha. She out here struggling, honey, because Simon has been arrested. Now, listen, when you try to get you a man and make him your sugar daddy, and then he's in jail, like, where you gonna get the money from? Because what I'm hearing is the money is frozen. Y'all know what freeze mean. It means just what it is. Freeze. It ain't going out. It ain't coming in. It's frozen. That's what it means. So word on the street is that Porsha is a struggling hoe, that all the coochie that she done gave out, so that it just ain't working out for her, because it seems like karma has caught up with her, because you can't possibly be at your age still selling that wore out cat. But apparently they say she is. But the thing about it, when you sell stuff, you actually have to have a buyer. And I don't think the people is buying it. The men not buying it. They say she like ladies. I don't think they buying it either. But listen here, y'all. Allegedly, her next target is Angela's husband. Now, I hope that we don't hear next season that now she's sucking on, Charles thing, because I don't know. And they're saying that, behind the scenes. And see, I be knowing stuff. When it be little stuff like this, I don't share it. But sometimes when people get on my nerves, I just tell it all. So yeah, word on the street is she been trying to hit that she wanna suck on Charles. Like Dennis got the hot dog. She wanna on Charles hot dog. That's what the streets is saying. Now, I don't know if this is true. But she's making some interesting statements about Charles. And then she made it seem like it was just a joke. But my thing is, if that dog don't shut up, my thing is, girl, you should not be playing with nobody's husband, especially after what we saw you did. Like, we did saw you go over to lady house. Now, we get it. She may not have been your friend, but the fact of the matter is you was messing with her husband, then went over to her house. See, what y'all also failing to realize is Bravo really sets Porsha up to look like the idiot that she really is in real life, because I'm sure they already knew that she was messing with that lady husband when she sent her over there, when they sent her over there. Because just so y'all know, I really don't believe that her and Fallon was actually friends, not friends like that, but she knew that that was that woman's husband. So word on the street is she's throwing some little innuendos out at Charles. Now, do she want Charles' hot dog like she wanted Dennis's? I don't know, but allegedly, supposedly, she's making some statements. Now, y'all know how the hoes do. You know, when they want your man or her man or they man or anybody man, they put it out in the atmosphere. So is she doing this because she wants Charles to maybe see if he let her eat his hot dog? I don't know. But this is what I do know. You women need to hide your man, your husband, your boyfriend, because these hoes out here taking everybody.
Obviously, we have Ray in Lincoln Park. He's climbing in your windows. He's snatching your people up. Trying, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because they.
And that's exactly who Porsha is. You better hide your man, your baby daddy, your boyfriend, and your husband, because she is out here in these streets looking. Well, they say she was looking for an African or a Nigerian, but one thing, y'all, about them Africans and them Nigerians is they slick close together. And when they find out that you are a hoe, you are done. So I don't believe it's working out for her in that area with the Nigerians and the Africans. So they're saying that she pushing up on Angela's man. Now, I shouldn't say Angela's man because this is actually Angela's husband. Now, is she making, saying these things because she wants Charles to know that she down for whatever? Or is this just her maybe making good TV? I don't know. But listen, here's my deal. Why is this woman making any statements about anybody else's husband, judging from how, she got the last one? Like, why would she be making statements about somebody's husband? Now, I don't know if it's going to play on the show, but what I've heard is that there is supposedly something that she said in related to Angela's husband. Now, we saw the episode where she made a statement about knowing something about Charles. She said, "Oh, I was just playing." Then she kind of made it seem like Angela had made it up, but allegedly she's making some statements about Charles. Now, I thought about it and I said, well, how much is Charles worth? I don't know. I didn't even look it up, but I mean, Dennis, if y'all don't remember, she got with Dennis because she really thought that Dennis had a whole bunch of money. Now, I don't think Dennis is broke, but I believe that maybe she thought things were a lot different than they actually were. Y'all know, similar to the situation with Simon, but in all actuality, this woman knew that Simon had multiple wives and she still became wife number 30. Now, she not really wife number 30, but I mean, when you 8, 9, it doesn't really matter. But y'all, this is what I was thinking. Porsha doesn't even have a damn storyline. So I'm wondering, is this part of what she's doing because she simply doesn't have a storyline? But do y'all think she would go as far as to create stuff around somebody's husband, considering what she's already recently did? Now, if you guys watch this, and this is courtesy of Carlos King's show. Now, he does this thing with Dustin and Claudia, and Claudia was right on the money because Claudia said that Porsha doesn't have a storyline. Let's get into it.
This is no hate, but she's coming off more like a friend of the show than I agree. Like I was like, oh, her crew is cute. Like I
Yeah, right.
like a girl that can hang with other women that are pretty and don't want to just be the only pretty girl in the group. I think that was super cute. I like that. And I think that Porsha needs to do more of that this season because honestly, this is no hate, but she's coming off more like a friend of the show than a housewife. She really is. Like all her stuff is like related to Drew. It's making Drew look bigger than her actually on the show. We're seeing Drew with a singing career. We're seeing Drew with her divorce situation. And we're seeing Drew with her issue with the group and now the butting heads with Porsha. We're seeing more of a storyline, and with Porsha, we're just seeing her react to the other housewives. Like Porsha set up, like even the Nashville trip, yeah, kind of, but not really. It didn't really
I
feel
get
like
it.
it didn't really feel like it was like a big Porsha moment. It really didn't. It was more about Angela bringing Drew and you being mad. So Porsha, don't let these girls punk you out of your spot by you kind of returning energy and giving that Brit energy. You should be coming in like you are above this. I've been here for many, many, many years. I've had specials, I've had spinoffs. Give that energy, because if not, you're gonna get swallowed up every single episode. Because I kind of feel like for an episode to be about your birthday, I feel like she was giving friend of the show this episode.
I get it. A lot of people have said that, and I think they've attributed it to her not being able to film whatever that shit was.
Simon, yeah, he's
in the
blocking
crib. So we lost a little bit of like the Porsha centered elements. We've only been seeing her react to the shit that's going on amongst the ladies. So I agree, Claudia. It does feel less than sufficient for a Real Housewife, especially a Real Housewife who was announced first of the new cast, right?
Yeah.
She was positioned as the reason to watch this season. So unfortunately, we aren't getting, it's not living up to the hype per se.
I think when it comes to Porsha, I think Dustin hit it too. Listen, when they hired her to come back, and she said yes, it was her decision. She was with Simon, and I think it's one of those things where I think what people aren't remembering or understanding, and Porsha did touch on this on YouTube channel, she's going through a divorce in real time, and the person that she's divorcing isn't able to be on the show. We saw Cynthia and Peter go through a divorce. We saw Phaedra and Apollo go through a divorce. We saw Nene and Greg go through a divorce. I think, unfortunately, 75% of Porscha's real life isn't being shown because you can't get Simon's POV.
Yeah.
So imagine showing up to work and your headspace, Claudia and Dustin, is dealing with. We saw Simon crash out on Twitter.
Yeah.
If he's crashing that way on Twitter, imagine what he's doing in her life. Imagine what he's doing in court. And I do implore people, and listen, this is not me defending anybody. I think, listen, we all watch the show for the 42 minutes and keep it moving, right? So this is no shade to anybody. I think what we have to remember, though, is 75% of Porscha's real life is not being shown. And she's dealing with something that she's unable to show us. So when she's walking in these scenes, you don't know what she had to go through with Randy Kessler, child. You know what I mean? So I do
That's
think
fair. That's fair.
So I do think a lot. I think that's what's happening.
Can I jump in real quick and just say,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I do fault. It's not really totally Porscha's fault. She can't show her full story. But Kenya went through a divorce when Mark was not cooperating, and she got dragged, and she had to deal with all that kind of stuff. So maybe find some creative ways to show what you're going through, so we can feel for you during this time. Because I'm sure Simon's being very petty, but like to just not really show it, it's like we're missing another huge part. We're missing Kenya, we're missing Simon, we're missing Porscha's.
Feels incomplete. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like, yeah, that's why it's giving like friend. And I would think he'd want to be in it and like be bitchy and tell his side of the story and like, run his mouth and get
I'm so glad he's not.
But like,
I'm telling you, that would have been too much for me. I did not want to hear nothing Simon had to say.
And guys, with regards to that, and this is what everybody is saying, Porsha was supposed to be the main character. She gives none of that. She does not give any main character energy. In fact, she doesn't give anything. Where is her family? I've been told that people don't want to film with her because people really don't like her. Now, if you guys remember Porsha Family Matters, when she had that entire situation at the restaurant with her baby daddy, the hot dog man, Dennis, they said Porsha went back to her family members and told them they better not talk about it. Now, imagine you filming with somebody and you can't even have a natural reaction because Porsha wants to be in control. She wants to dominate and bully each and every situation. So would you want to film with her if you were her family? Nobody wants to film with her. She can't film in the house, which is kind of odd because if you're not filming in your house, then you have to film in someone else's house. But then if you can't film in your house, then you have to like move and go somewhere else and film there. So we really never see you in your actual natural element. And again, she does not give main character energy. Is she actually going after Angela's husband or making these statements about Angela's husband simply because she does not have a storyline? Now, we don't know, but we know y'all better hide your man.
Lincoln Park, he's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying. So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they.
Hide your man. I'm telling you, your husband, your baby daddy, your boyfriend, because Porsha is out here on these streets, honey, and she gonna get that mortgage paid by any means necessary. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. But we now, guys, have memberships, and I want you guys to join. Find a membership that suits you, and please go ahead and get yourself a membership. Now, memberships are great, and it actually helps to support the channel, and it also helps me to pick videos to see what you guys may want to see next. So make sure you go ahead and support, get yourself a membership. And also, I heard you guys in the comments about the merch. I'm working on that. Membership will also give you guys perks to that when it becomes available. And it also will give you guys behind the scenes access to new content. So make sure you guys go ahead and get yourself a membership.
Queen of the plot. Hit that bell 'cause the tea don't